Well, the Madison Food and Wine Show is this weekend, and this year they are showcasing some top Madison chefs.
Today we meet the head chef of the Brocach Irish Pub, Andy Brocach. He's cooking up some Mussel Chowder.
Today I'll be preparing Irish brown bread with saffron and mussel chowder. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the brown bread. It's a traditional bread, actually one of the easiest breads you can make. It doesn't use yeast. It rises with buttermilk and baking soda. White flour, 20 ounces. That works out to 2.5 cups. This is a stone ground wheat flour. And then the two other things it gets is the baking soda, a little bit of salt, a pint's worth of buttermilk. We add one more ingredient to our brown bread, honey. So I got a shot glass worth of honey just to kind of keep with the theme. That works out to 2 tablespoons. But just to sweeten it up a little bit, we'll give it a good flavor. It's just a quick bread. We're just going to mix this together until it just sort of forms a dough ball. We don't need to knead it. In fact, you don't want to knead it. You don't really want to develop the gluten. All I want to do is shape it into a ball, just a rough ball. It doesn't have to be doesn't have to look pretty. This is a pretty rustic, traditional loaf of bread. That's it. This is ready to bake. This goes into a 375-degree oven. Takes about 70 minutes, and this is the finished loaf of Irish brown bread. We'll start on our saffron and mussel chowder. We're going to render off some bacon. We're going to use that fat to saute our vegetables for the chowder. Start with a little bit of olive oil and just some chopped onion. I'm just going to sweat these out. So, not trying to put any color on them, just want to soften them a little bit. So I'm going to add these onions, a little bit of white wine, about 2 cups worth. I'm going to add some saffron here, some good Spanish saffron. Just a big pinch. That's kind of always the way to measure saffron out. It's always in pinches. So, and this is actually a really good technique. Saffron's it's a pretty expensive spice, but you could use this technique right here to really stretch it out. So if I was to bring the wine, onions, and saffron to just a simmer, let it steep for about 15 or 20 minutes, I could strain that liquid out and save it and use it to season up any soup sauces I wanted. It's going to have that really strong saffron flavor. I've got some Prince Edward Island mussels here. These are all cleaned and ready to go. Just want to double check, make sure none of them are open. If they are open, just want to give them a quick tap. They close up, great. They're alive. If not, throw them in the garbage can. So this is just going to steam. I'll cover this guy up. This bacon's going to go into the chowder right at the end. Try to keep some of that texture. What we'll put in here is some chopped leeks, some diced carrots, just a little bit of kosher salt. Quick saute on that. We'll check on our mussels. So these guys are opened up, which is great. That means they're ready to go. So what we want to do now is add a little bit of flour to this. It's going to help tighten up some of that extra bacon grease. This is also what we're going to use to thicken our chowder. What we're going to do is we're going to actually strain our mussel cooking liquid right into here. So we've got this kind of saffron-y, briny liquid that we use to steam the mussels in. So we'll just go right in there. Now the last things we need for this is just a little bit of milk. A couple cups worth. Boy, we're also going to throw in some potatoes. These are diced, already cooked off. These are also going to help thicken the chowder as well. Just a little bit of that starch, and we can kind of just get the rest of these guys in there as well. Let it come up to temp. Bacon right on top. A little bit of fresh parsley. A piece of our brown bread. So there we go. Saffron and mussel chowder.
Ironically, that's what I'm making tonight.
Second night in a row.
It's what a coincidence.
He measured the flour in pints of Guinness. Yeah. The Madison Food and Wine Show is this weekend. It's Friday from 5 to 9, Saturday noon to 7, and Sunday from noon to 4 in the exhibition hall of the Alliant Energy Center. Tickets are $37 in advance. They're $42 at the door, or $60 for a weekend pass in advance, and $70 at the door. Go to MadisonFoodandWineShow.com for all of the information.
That really looked good.
Delicious.
I love mussels.